The night sky has always evoked mystery and wonder. Since antiquity, astronomers have tried to understand the patterns of the fixed stars and the motions of the moon and planets. The motive was partly a practical one, but there has always been a more poetic motivation too, a quest to understand our place in nature. Modern science reveals a cosmos far vaster and more varied than our ancestors could have envisioned. No continents on Earth remain to be discovered. The exploratory challenge has now broadened to the cosmos. Humans have walked on the moon. Unmanned spacecraft have beamed back views of all the planets, and some people now living may one day walk on Mars. The stars, fixed in the vault of heaven, were a mystery to the ancients. They are still unattainably remote, but we know that many of them are shining even more brightly than the sun. Within the last decade, we have learned something remarkable that was long suspected. Many stars are, like our sun, encircled by orbiting planets. The number of known planetary systems already runs into hundreds. There could altogether be 1 billion in our galaxy. Could some of these planets resemble the Earth and harbour life, even intelligent life? All the stars visible to the unaided eye are part of our home galaxy, a structure so vast that light takes 100,000 years to cross it. But this galaxy, the Milky Way, is just one of billions visible through large telescopes. These galaxies are hurtling apart from each other, as though they had all originated in a big bang 13 or 14 billion years ago. But we don't know what banged, nor why it banged. The beauty of the night sky is a common experience of people from all cultures. Indeed, it is something that we share with all generations since prehistoric times. Our modern perception of the cosmic environment is even grander. Astronomers are now setting Earth in a cosmic context. They seek to understand how the cosmos developed its intricate complexity, how the first galaxies, stars and planets formed, and how on at least one planet atoms assembled into creatures able to ponder their origins. In The First Men on the Moon by H.G. Wells, Mr. Bedford ponders just that. Having created a glass sphere capable of flying to the moon with his friend Cavour, Mr. Bedford finds himself separated on the mysterious and treacherous landscape. In a little while, it seemed to me as though I had always been alone on the moon. I hunted for a time with certain intentness, but the heat was still very great, and the thinness of the air felt like a hoop about one's chest. I came presently into a hollow basin bristling with tall, brown, dry fronds about its edge, and I sat down under these to rest and cool. I intended to rest for only a little while. I put down my clubs beside me and sat resting my chin on my hands. I saw with a sort of colourless interest that the rocks of the basin, where here and there the crackling dry lichens had shrunk away to show them, were all veined and splattered with gold, that here and there bosses of round and wrinkled gold projected from among the litter. What did that matter now? A sort of languor had possession of my limbs and mind. I did not believe for a moment that we should ever find the sphere in that vast, desiccated wilderness. I seemed to lack a motive for effort until the selenite should come. Then I supposed I should exert myself, obeying that unreasonable imperative that urges a man before all things to preserve and defend his life, albeit he may preserve it only to die more painfully in a little while. Why had we come to the moon? The thing presented itself to me as a perplexing problem. What is this spirit in a man that urges him forever to depart from happiness and security, to toil, to place himself in danger, to risk even a responsible certainty of death? It dawned upon me, up there in the moon, as a thing I ought always to have known, that man is not made simply to go about being safe and comfortable and well and fed and amused. Almost any man, if you put the thing to him, not in words but in the shape of opportunities, will show that he knows as much. against his interest, against his happiness, he is constantly being driven to do unreasonable things. Some force not himself impels him, and go he must. But why? Why? Sitting there in the midst of that useless moon gold, amidst the things of another world, I took count of all my life. Assuming I was to die a castaway upon the moon, I failed altogether to see what purpose I had served. I got no light on that point, but at any rate it was clearer to me than it had ever been in my life before that. I was not serving my own purpose, that all my life I had in truth never served the purposes of my private life. Whose purposes? What purposes was I serving? I ceased to speculate on why we had come to the moon and took a wider sweep. Why had I come to the earth? Why had I a private life at all? I lost myself, at last, in bottomless speculations.